changes to tonight's lineup?
Yeah, Brandstrom out, Hetherington in. Got hurt towards the end, so Heater will get a chance to go in tonight.
Up front, is there a chance for Tim Stützle?
Yeah, there is. He'll take warm-up. Looked good this morning, but I haven't had a chance to talk to the trainers. It was a 50-50 situation, so we'll see.
Is that the Brandstrom injury just short-term?
Yeah, no, it should. Everything should be fine after one day. Just unable to walk, really. So.
What's the update with Artem
Zub,
Zub?
we'll look at post Christmas as a possible return, depending on X-rays to see if stuff's healed and what have you. And if not, it'll be pushed into January. But physically he's ready. It's just it's if it's healed enough in order to come back.
Were you as happy as the GM when the extension got done?
Yeah. Well, clearly our team, with and without him, are different teams. And obviously the management felt that way as well, and locked him up long term. It's hard to find those guys that can contribute on both sides of the puck, can play against the other team's top players. And I know you guys have brought it up. I don't know what our record is with him without him, but we're a different team clearly when he plays. And for the organization to have that guy locked up and that kind of player locked up for long term is certainly going to help.
You mentioned in his statement yesterday how seamless the transition for Zub has been to North American hockey. Is that something you've recognized, obviously, last year and maybe getting even more comfortable this year?
Well, he plays a physical brand. If you watch, there's different kinds of hockey, whether it be in the KHL, Switzerland, wherever it is. A lot of puck possession, a lot of different things. Zuby is a really good defender that can be physical and has good feet, that can play against the other team's top players at top speed. The McDavids. I mean, no one really plays against those guys, but he can handle that kind of challenge and be physical. He also can make plays. He can get up in the rush. So he kind of fit into the North American style, which is, a hard, defending, as well as making plays. But I think that style fit right into the way the NHL is played.
What did you know about it? If you go back to January of 2021 and you had never probably seen him with your own eyes in live action, what did you know about Artem Zub?
Well, the hard part was that there was no exhibition that year, right? And you're just playing against yourselves, and you don't know what you have as a player. It's hard just to tell from practice. Some guys, as everyone knows, there's some guys that look unreal in practice, and then the game starts, and that's not the way it transfers. Some guys aren't great practice players and are great game players. So we were watching him. There was, when he started out, he was a little bit, obviously, not rusty, but just didn't know the language, didn't know there were so many things for the transition, and language being probably the biggest one. And then just got more and more competitive every day, came in the office and, just wanted to know why he wasn't playing and needed to play. And when a guy does that, if I look back, you're like, this is a guy that is saying, give me my chance. And as a coach, you're like, yeah, let's see it. And then his credit, he never dropped the ball. He's been good wire to wire.
How much does Zaitsev help him?
Well, for sure, having another guy, and at the time, Anisimov was there, and just being able to have someone to talk to. They sit together on the plane. Clearly they hang out all the time. Just someone that could help you a little bit with the language and how things are here. You don't think about the transition, but getting a car, all those things that you take for granted. Being a Canadian-American player that goes city to city, everything's different for them. And obviously Zaitsev and Isamov, those guys helped them through that.
What would getting Stützle back mean?
Well, our 5-on-5 play has dipped here of late, creating offense for sure, giving up more, underlying numbers when we talk. We're giving up too much. Timmy's a guy that when he's on the ice drives offense, but also can break you out. He can do so many things. It's going to up your ozone time, your speed and transition. There's just it'd be hard to say he hasn't been, one of, if not our best player all year. I mean, there's him and Brady and those guys, but he carries the play, and whatever percent he's at, if he can play tonight, if he plays tonight, he's a big time difference maker.
Alex Ovechkin stands on the verge of a record. Would you be okay if 20 years from now you're sitting in your easy chair at Christmas time and you're not watching highlights of him tying Gordie Howe?
Yeah, for sure. You know what? Really, when you think about it, I grew up a Gretzky fan, my era. Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and to think that this guy's right there. He's got Gordie, and I'm from Windsor, being Detroit with Gordie. It really is amazing in today's world with all the video and all the the goaltending, today's goalies, how good they are, the system play, and he just continues to score. It really is amazing. But for us, 20 years from now, you'll look at it differently than you do today. But for us, we want to get a win before Christmas. We want to get back going good. We've had a good month. We want to, feel good about ourselves going into the break. So it's less about that than it is about him.
Just one thing. Just do you think it's more difficult in this era to score because of the way the game is broken down?
Well, there's so many things that go into it. I don't know. I didn't play way back then, and I didn't play now either. It's so as a coach watching, the amount of video, the amount of things, the goaltending, it's just and hard to stay healthy. How big the guys are. Really, that's probably one of the biggest things is how much bigger the guys have become, how much faster guys are skating. With the technology, the training, all those things. How do you stay healthy that long? Is one of the biggest obstacles probably. Take nothing away from, the players back then were still the best players in the world. The best were playing against the best, and the best are still playing against the best today. It's just the eras have changed.
Is game planning against him the same as it has been, or has he changed, or have teams changed in defending against him?
Well, there's been, I'm sure, so many different theories on how you would try and stop him. The only way that holds true is that you have the puck in the offensive zone and he doesn't have it. And if you can do that, he doesn't have the puck and he can't go and do what he wants to do. But once he gets it, he's a huge man with great hands and an absolute desire to score and willing to do anything to do it. Block shots, whatever he's got to do to score. And that's why, I think clearly we're sitting here and he's on that verge.
Your game tomorrow has now been postponed, and I'm wondering, either from a goalie rotation standpoint or ice time deployment, would anything change for you now knowing you're not playing twice in 24 hours?
Yeah, for sure. You're always trying to win every game, but at saying that, if you've got 5 days off in between, you're not going to leave anything to chance. You're really going to play whoever's going, and play them probably a little more. It does change it. To say it doesn't, that'd be wrong, because if you have another game, you want to win every game, but at the same point, you can't play a forward so many minutes, or but at the same point, they got to be good minutes, or it's pointless to do that.
Last two games, would you say that your defensive zone coverage was a bit poor, especially against Winnipeg, where you had in the same picture 5 Ottawa Senators, 3 guys from the Jets, and they end up putting the puck in the net because one guy is wide open in front of that. What do you need to see from your team defensively, especially in your own end, to not give up that type of goal? Is it about a change of tactics, or is it you need to change the tactics of the way you play defensively? Or
Well, clearly no. We just won 4 in a row heading into that game, and I think 6 of 7. You got to do it better, and clearly that was an issue in Minnesota and in Winnipeg. We just didn't check hard enough. The games when you win, you give nothing up on the inside. It's nothing. There's no. Every team in the league, when the puck's behind the net, it's pretty well got 5 guys stacked in the zone. Got to be better. Got to be harder. You got to have more desperation to not let them score, to not let them get a shot. And when we're winning, our inner slot shots against are real low. When we're losing, they're not. And you look at those guys that got those chances, Connor, these are good players, and they find ways to expose you. We got to be better and harder defensively. For us to win tonight, our inner slot shots probably going to have to be 3 or less, and if they get them, the goalie's going to have to save it. You know, we're early parts of the year, I think we were the top team, our second team in the league in creating inner slot shots. You know, it comes down to how hard you really want to defend, and when we're winning, we defend really hard.
Are you guys feeling a sense of urgency now, just coming into this off back-to-back losses, to get back to that stretch?
I think, and we said the same when we win or we lose. Every game has to be separate from the other one, because that's what happens when you're a young team, is you ride the highs and the lows, and no game is more important than the other one. Had we just come off a win, had we not won in Detroit and come off a win in Winnipeg, it's the same record. It's just today's game is about today, and we want to come out and play the game the right way. We lost against Minnesota and Winnipeg, and we didn't play the right way against Winnipeg, and that's the issue. And if you play the right way, you outchance them, you do all the things, you lose, you just move on to the next city. We didn't play the right way, and today we want to play the right way.